Hello and welcome back to Community Connection. I'm Iowa City Mayor Bruce Teague. The Community Foundation of Johnson County is working to make sure all people in our community are welcome, treated equally, and invited to have a seat at the table. That's why the organization started the Inclusive Johnson County Fund, which provides financial support for race and bias education and outreach, promoting diversity and inclusion, and supporting cultural events. Joining me today is Shelly Meharry of Community Foundation of Johnson County, who is the executive director, to tell us about these efforts. Welcome. So happy you're here today.
Hi, Mayor Teague. It's so good to be with you. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, so over the past year, you all have been very busy. The Community Foundation of Johnson County doing various things. And now you have something else that is supporting people, a diversity community. And so excited to hear about the diversity, equity, and inclusion program that you have at Johnson County. And I want to hear a little bit about it.
Great. Well, again, thanks for the time today. You know, it's been almost a year now since the death of George Floyd, and our Community Foundation Board of Directors and members of our community were so impacted by that loss. And it really highlighted some crucial conversations to have in our community about diversity, about equity and inclusion, and creating a welcoming community that welcomes all, where everyone is invited to the table and has a say in shaping our community. And so our board of directors in June of last year had a great board meeting where we specifically talked about how the Community Foundation of Johnson County can use our attributes and our strengths to highlight and empower diversity, equity, and inclusion within Johnson County. And we really started inward on the things that we could do to highlight these efforts. We amended our organizational bylaws to really strengthen our commitment to diversity amongst our board of directors. We also reviewed our grant making practices to make sure that they were equitable and fair for all. And we also started a new fund thanks to a lead gift from the Stanley Center for Peace and Security out of Muscatine, Iowa, to establish the Inclusive Johnson County Fund, which I'm really excited to tell people about today.
Well, I am super impressed with all of the work that you and the board of directors have been doing. I want to be forthcoming and say that I am on the board of directors. And so, all the things that you mentioned, you're exactly right. It was something that the Community Foundation of Johnson County had been looking at. And I think last year, in the wake of George Floyd, it really, kind of just took the foundation to the next level. And thank you for your leadership during this process, because I think it is leaders like you that really do kind of bring all the pieces together to make a meaningful change. And the efforts that you're doing, I just absolutely love it for our community. So the Inclusive Johnson County Fund, tell us about how that fund will be used. What type of projects and programs do you foresee this to be used for?
Well, this vehicle, so the Inclusive Johnson County Fund, will be able to provide grants to a number of different activities supporting race and bias education that's needed throughout our community so that we can understand and raise the level of awareness of needs in our community, and also support nonprofit organizations' work in making sure that their organization is culturally sensitive as well, and provide grants for scholarship opportunities for underserved individuals, plus cultural events. This fund, the Inclusive Johnson County Fund, is really designed to be a vehicle for good in enhancing our understanding and support for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that goes so broadly as well when we talk about diversity and inclusion. You know, we talk about race and color, religion, creed, sex, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, veteran status, as well as those who have disabilities. So we want to definitely position ourselves to know that the Community Foundation is a place for all. And this Inclusive Johnson County Fund provides a vehicle for funding to nonprofit organizations who are doing an incredible amount of work in this space. And we want to provide that vehicle for funding.
Well, you're providing the vehicle for funding, and so happy that you are. Who, what type of programs have you already funded, or who have you already funded with the Inclusive Johnson County Fund?
Yeah, a couple examples would be the Juneteenth celebration that actually took place last June.
Woohoo!
Yeah, the Inclusive Johnson County Fund provided a grant that supported the food and beverages that were provided at that celebration. And I participated in that event, and it was such a wonderful opportunity for community to come together, to see the different faces in the community, all while we were masked. And remember,
Yes.
we're height of the pandemic, so we had those social distance safety protocols in place, but just a wonderful event. And I'm really excited to see what plans are taking place coming up this June as well. The Inclusive Johnson County Fund also provided 2 scholarships to the Iowa City Area Business Partnerships Community Leadership Program for underrepresented individuals to participate in that program. And as part of that work, we looked at what might barriers be for individuals to participate. Maybe it's work schedule that was a barrier, or getting employers to give people time off to actually participate. So the work of the Inclusive Johnson County Fund provided those scholarships, but really opened the door as well for those crucial conversations to eliminate barriers for participation that some might experience.
And if an organization wants to learn about these funds, like where can they apply? And because I'm sure there's some people out there excited for the opportunity.
That's right. So we're just about ready to open up the next round of grants. So the Inclusive Johnson County Fund grants opportunities will be on a quarterly rolling basis. And the next window to apply for funds will begin July 15th. We're excited about sharing this news now, coming in the month of June, because we're fundraising specifically for these grants. And so there'll be an excellent opportunity for donors, businesses, community members to actually support these grants that we'll be awarding in the next grant cycle.
So for these donors, can they go to the website or give a call to the Community Foundation of Johnson County?
Exactly. So the Community Foundation of Johnson County is a 501c3 tax-exempt organization, and we're utilizing our organization as a fundraising tool specifically for this work. So when a donor makes a gift to the Inclusive Johnson County Fund, it is eligible for a charitable gift receipt, and 100% of the funds raised to support the Inclusive Johnson County Fund go directly to those grants. So we're providing the administrative support behind that. And it's a great way. I know so many in our community have cared deeply about this conversation about wanting to be an ally and a supporter and use our influence, in whatever way that might be, to elevate this conversation about equity, about inclusion, and about having a safe community for all. And this is a great way for someone to provide a financial gift to support that work through the Inclusive Johnson County Fund. You can visit our website. It's www.cfjc.org and search Inclusive Johnson County, or just look on our main page. During the month of June, we will be highlighting the work of the Inclusive Johnson County Fund right on our homepage, so it'll be easy to find.
Well, get ready for those donors to just roll on in there. And because there's a lot of people in our community that really want to see the diversity efforts excel, for people to have opportunities. And that's what their funds will provide. And so thank you for creating this program for people to even place some of their funds where it'll be more expansively used throughout the community. And this is a great way to do that. Now, I know that there's an opportunity for intern, for DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion intern. Tell us a little bit about that opportunity that is on the table right now.
Great. Something I also want to share about the grants that will be awarded is we have an advisory committee of community members who are helping us to select the grants and determine the funding priorities for the Inclusive Johnson County Fund. So there's also reassurance in knowing that we are utilizing a diverse method in selecting the grants as well. So we're excited to have our first panel of Inclusive Johnson County Fund advisory members to help us along in this work. And part of those efforts have actually been, from their input, has been creating the job description for our very first intern that's going to support the work of the Inclusive Johnson County Fund. In conversations that we've had, over the past year, having opportunities for younger members of the BIPOC community and underserved communities to have educational opportunities and experiential opportunities that sort of allow for connection across the community are really important. And so as part of our board of directors work as well, chose to fund this paid internship opportunity that will be taking place in the next academic year, so starting in August. So beginning June 1st, individuals can apply for this intern position. And its focus will be to oversee the Inclusive Johnson County Fund, to work with that advisory panel, to help with our grant making efforts, working with nonprofits and exploring what type of programs might be funded through the Inclusive Johnson County Fund. And also, we've learned over the past year that our communities in Johnson County have a number of resources available in each city to support diversity, equity, and inclusion. So for example, Iowa City has a wonderful equity office with so many resources that they've been willing to share with us as we've learned and tried to grow this organically into a resource. And so the intern will actually take those pieces of information from each community and bring them together in a way that we can have a collective resource for anyone to use. So if you're a resident of Hills, for example, you'll be able to find some common resources if you wanted to explore diversity opportunities and equity opportunities, learning, teaching, trainings in your community. And that'll be available across Johnson County.
I think that's pretty critical to have that opportunity for people where they can, sometimes you have the desire, but you don't have all the pieces together to make it work, and knowledge is power. So that is phenomenal that throughout our community, people will have some resources that they'll be able to, tap into. Happy to hear about the DEI intern opportunity, and looking for the perfect person to come and help lead that effort. So if that's you and you want to, you'll be able to apply, and maybe you'll be the one that is selected to be a part of these efforts. Thank you so much for being here today, Shelley, and want to also say thank you for your leadership and really taking on a topic that many are really taking on right now. Some are just trying to figure out what does all of this mean when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I really appreciate you taking a firm stand and moving this forward. Wanted to know if there's any lasting words that you would like to leave with us.
Just that we just have this strong commitment to want to enforce that we want to respond to the movement and not just the moment that occurred a year ago. We've been able to take a time to reflect and to understand. We're still trying to learn and grow, and there's so much more that can be done in our community, and we're looking forward to being a part of this conversation to continue the work of wanting to have an inclusive and equitable community for all who call Johnson County home.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and we will see you in the community.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all for this episode. Join us again, and we'll be back soon with another episode of Community Connection. Thanks for watching, and take care, Iowa City.